In addition, to officially announce my upload schedule, I tend to make and upload a new video like every week or so. Every week or so, every week or so, week or so, week or so, week or so. Okay, so devlog 4 is late. It's whatever. It's only been like 4 weeks since the last one. I announced my upload schedule when I had absolutely nothing going on in my life. All of a sudden, on top of going to school, the gym, and shifting between households, like any normal kid with divorced parents, I now have driving lessons with both parents and an instructor, as well as my first job. Point being, I've been really busy, so at least I have a good excuse. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Now, to start off, the problem with making videos based on making a game that you intend people to buy when it's done is that I can't reveal too much. And it sucks because I need to make videos for people to like me. And because I've been so busy, my brain decided to turn to the Free Guy quote,
"Make it original? Why would I do that when I can make a sequel?"
So I made you all wait 4 weeks, only to reveal that I've worked on the environment. Again. Alright, let's get into it. I think it's best I start by explaining the easy stuff and making my way up to the more complicated additions, because it gets pretty complicated. Exhibit A. The platforms. Now, you may have seen me use these black blocks as platforms when testing, and they're great, except they kind of totally look and operate like shit. So to fix that, I designed these juicy sci-fi glowing platforms and whacked them into the game. Coolio, that takes care of aesthetics, however my character over here still gets a concussion with a side of permanent brain damage every time they try and jump onto it. Now, a big stinky monkey brain was telling me, okay, you're going to need a script that disables the box collider while an object is under it, and then turns back on when a tag/layered item is above it, and have it enabled exclusively for said object. That way my player and other items can go through the platform and then land on it, and then just add a platform effector. What? Oh, they do have a component for that, but it can't be that easy. It's that easy. I honestly thought this thing would be a lot harder to do, but the recurring theme of this channel runs true that I am a complete moron, and I still don't understand how my game engine of choice works, and I don't think I ever will. And that's pretty much how platforms just happen. I guess I've just got them now. I'm not even kidding. I was losing sleep over how I was going to make those platforms, and then Unity's just like, "Oh no, here you go, buddy." And I'm like, huh, you're helping me. That's a nice change. Exhibit B. So do you remember that really complex, extremely complicated, mind-boggling, brain-numbing box I added to the game last video? No? Then go watch Devlog 3, you stupid bitch. Who starts on the sequel before the original? That's just unheard of. Those of you who do will recall that this box kind of just exists right now, which led to so many questions. Where did it come from? Who put it there? Were they trying to help the player? Was it sent from God? No, it just gets spit out by a machine. Let's build the machine. All it has to do is spit out a box when you push this button, dispense a nifty little smoke effect when you push it, have it teleport back to the drop point when pushed again, and call it a day. Sounds easy enough. You already know what I'm about to say. Okay, what if I just mash it as fast as I can? Oh, that's what happens. Push button. Okay, well, to those of you new to the channel, this is the norm around here. I attempt to make something relatively simple and end up butchering it like a Jeffrey Dahmer victim. Nevertheless, I ended up fixing all the errors. For now. Exhibit C. Wait, before we move on, I need to address something. And it probably goes without saying. Unity hates me. Okay, that's a little harsh. The thing I built wasn't actually that hard. It's just that I realised I'm 3 or 4 interactables in, and my scripts are already making me do all of the work. Let me explain. This is the interactable script. The interactable script itself pretty much makes an object glow yellow when the human is nearby, and calls a function depending on which interactable is closest when the player presses E, which for the most part works, except it sucks. So by the time you see this, I probably would have already fixed it and made it work better. But for now, I'll show you why it sucks. So once it handles the basic job, it calls one of these functions depending on the interactable object it's closest to. It understands it's a reference to another script that holds the function and runs it, and because each function only runs if the player is standing close to it, it will only run that desired function. Cool, right? Wrong! In Unity, when you make a reference to another script, you have to make an assignment. The assignment is basically saying, okay, I know what script I am, but which object do I affect that has this script on it? There's like a million machines here, which means I have to drag and drop the specific interactable object into the reference box every single time for every single script reference made. The significance of this is that when I'm designing levels, I'll have to drag and drop 3 different objects at least, given that I only have 3 interactables and counting, into every interactable every time I want them on screen. As you can tell by how boring that sentence was to hear alone, it's even more boring doing it. So I'm gonna come up with a different idea. Jesus, that rant was so long, where was I? Alright. Exhibit C. Boy do I love making it impossible to understand my videos without watching my previous videos, because I'm about to make another reference. Remember that laser door that never really operated like a door? It now operates like a door. Now, to give this context, I'm a big fan of Human Fall Flat. I used to love that game, and one of my favourite levels was the little haunted Frankenstein tower level, right? Now, in that level, you have to find fuse cells to put into little battery packs that generate power for machines. So I'm just gonna yoink that and call it our idea. So we have this little fuse idea. How are we going to implement it? We need a way to show the player that they picked up the battery, and a way to tell the fuse box that the player does have the ability to turn the power on. How could I possibly achieve such a revolutionary feat? I guess I don't know. Well, that's it. I guess I'll never figure it out. I might as well just quit making the game altogether. Suppose I'll just play Terraria to make me feel better. Wait a minute. If you don't know, Terraria has this interesting UI system to symbolise the buffs and debuffs the player has affected. I already tapped into this idea when I made it so when the player is gooped by the sludger, a little purple orb icon appears on screen and disappears when the effect has run out. In Terraria, when a new effect appears, it sits next to the other latest applied effect. Then, when an effect disappears, all the effects on screen move down a space. Yoink, and now it's our idea. I had to learn making dictionaries in C#, which took about, about 5 hours. Yeah, but come check this out, it's really cool. So far we only have 2 icons added to the game, the goop debuff and this thing. A little power symbol to show the player that they have in fact picked up the battery. Very cool. Now if you take this quirky little fuse cell over to this even quirkier fuse box and push the interact button, you'll find that the fuse gets put into the box. The light turns on and energy is supplied, so the door should open, right? No, idiot. But you can open it when you left click when you're in the vicinity of the fuse box, which disables the laser barrier game object until clicked again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to make a door. Now the way that works is that the script checks if the player has picked up the battery in the first place. Using the indicator icon, we can effectively tell the fuse box, hey yo Tony, this guy's all good, he got a pass. And when the fuse is put inside, the icon goes away. Think of it like getting into a club. The script is like the bouncer, the player is an 18-year-old on his birthday, or 21 for you, Americans, and the indicator icon is like their ID. Make sense? Probably not, but we're gonna move on anyway. Now what's interesting is that when the player pushes E again, when the fuse is already in the fuse box, he takes it back out. That way, I as the developer can make more interesting puzzles given that he can put a fuse in and out of the box as well as turn the door on and off on a dime, and move it to a different fuse box and control a different door. Am I doing it? Is this what it feels like to use your brain? That's pretty much everything, and I'll try and be quicker on my next upload. It's hard to come up with new things to showcase when I expect people to want to play the game when it's done, so I try to keep everything important in storage until it releases. And it's tricky to label something as important and not important to the story, so just try and bear with me. But until next time, this has been Upset Games, Devlog4, and... Hold on, I've got a phone call.
Yo mate, it's me, Remix. I've was messing around with that rope swing idea thing that you wanted me to do, and I accidentally made a grapple hook instead. So I have got a swinging mechanism working now. It's actually pretty sick, to be honest.